right, it looks like I'm live. So I'm going to head over to YouTube so that I can see things the way you guys see things. You know how it is with the restart. I just got to refresh the channel and wait for it to come up. No worries. Getting there a little bit at a time. And that's how it goes. I feel tired. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a lot tired. But I thought it might be fun to come on live and sort through these and kind of walk through the process of how I evaluate images. And, sometimes you'll be flipping through some stuff and you'll get an idea of, oh, hey, this is, you might start in your brain grouping these together that might not go together or that totally go together. And then you get an idea for a collage and off you go with the whole thing, right? But if you hadn't sorted through those images, if you hadn't been, already actively looking through them, it's easy to say, oh, I think I have something like that in my stash, right? Oh, totally an easy thing to do. I definitely have something like that in my stash. I've said that. But then if you don't go look for it, or maybe you don't have what you thought you had, and you get frustrated. So I like to go through every now and then and get frustrated. And I haven't been. Hello, Nina. Hi, Tina. How you doing? Yeah. I think Rosemary's still having a sale. I was in for a little bit looking at all the pretty Cantha quilts. It's not in my budget to shop right now, so but I'm sure there's a couple of other people on. I didn't really peek before this is my normal time to go on Wednesdays, so we're just going to sort some images. I've got a big pile. I've got two big piles. And if we run out, I've got more piles. No worries. So sometimes I prefer the torn look, and sometimes I like a totally cut look. If I'm glue booking, I tend to like them to be cut because you're layering them in nice, even layers, and but with separation between each picture, and then you might layer over the top of the bottom layer and even further with fussy cut images and stuff like that. But when I'm doing collaging, I prefer torn edges. And then this is just like a nature scene. It's some rocks and a little bit of tiny tree here and a big expansive sky. So I'm going to leave that like that, but I am going to take the bottom edge off. See, a lot of times this type of image winds up in my personal journal. So yeah, so it's just going to be me blabbering and tearing things and cutting things. See, that's fun. Ice cream. And there's like a tag shape laid into that, but I'm going to leave it like that. So right now I'm sorting for size, not content. And I'm trying to decide, I think I want to cut this image to just the guy in the chair. And later I may even decide to fussy cut the kid in the chair out. So I'm going to pick up this whole pile and move it off screen for the moment so that we can get to the cutter. And also cutting it down helps remove any words from the page. So there's that. Anybody been doing anything fun? Are you making something? Are you maybe got an idea? Read any good books? Watched any, consumed anything you want to share? So see later, if we were to fussy cut this out and put it on the edge, you wouldn't see that he's in a room. This could be something, it could be construed as creepy, depending on, what you want to do with it. So I'm going to go ahead and tag that for creepy images and put it aside. Oh, spring yard work. Yeah, it's about that time, isn't it? Okay. I think that's fine that way, but I do want to cut the words off, so I want to make it much shorter. And for now, because if I cut it too short, you're not going to see that they're in the back of a car. So I think this could be the start of kind of a creepy collage, like a stalker kind of thing, So we'll put that aside. This was a story about, I think, people living in their cars, maybe. So we're just going to trim this down a little smidge. Make it more of a usable size, because even in a glue book, this is a very large image. But if I cut it too much smaller than that, then I'm losing what the image is. Oh, no. Sorry to hear about your stomach troubles. That sucks. Well, hopefully we can distract you a little bit. It's supposed to rain the rest of the... Oh, yeah. Yeah, because yard work is definitely no fun. I'm going to leave that as it is for right now, although I may fussy cut him out later. It's, the vacuum cleaner from one of those. It's a car wash. It's a car wash. Let's see. And then we just have this big kid here. And I think actually I just want to fussy cut that out. So let's just do it. Let's just fussy cut him. Most of the images off to the side here are going to be fussy cut out. There may be a few in there that need to be trimmed down, but so yeah. Because once he's fussy cut out, then he can be used in any number of contexts, which works for me. Because sometimes if I see the whole image, I don't pick out individual components, Carefully trying not to cut off the poor kid's ear. Let's cut that part off. He's got some unruly hair, though. That's kind of cool. Total kid hair, man. Total kid hair. And around his elbow we go. Down to his wrinkly shorts. He's got that total messy kid vibe, doesn't he? Okay. Being a little more quiet because I don't want to cut like his foot off on accident. I've done that kind of stuff before. Let's see. Sometimes when there's shadows, it's hard to tell where you need to cut. And around the toe of his sneaker. And there. He is done. Hey, Christine. How you doing? Oh, dandelions. Yeah, they can be pretty invasive. The first year that we moved to Ohio, I got to tell you, it was a dandelion heavy year. There were like tumbleweed sized bits of the fluff just blowing everywhere, just rolling down the street and collecting around fence posts. It was crazy. I'd never seen that many dandelions. The little wish things blowing around. I've never seen that many. I kind of enjoyed it, although that is when I learned I'm definitely allergic to dandelions. It was worth it. I just took lots of allergy meds. I took them a couple of times a day. That's what tape is for, if I cut his foot off. It makes it hard to glue down, though, I will say. Didn't quite go all the way right there. So I'm not going to tear this up or anything right now, because things you can do with this. Where's that little boy? So if I wanted to, I could cut off his little legs, which sounds terrible. Or I could flip it over and trace his little legs onto, any part of that. And then just the little leg portion, like, So we could trace it. Or if you felt really confident with your X-Acto knife skills. And I'm not getting a straight line, but then, you make where the leg is, and you cut that little shape out, and then you put it over his leg, and suddenly he's got, cosmos-filled legs. So, a big sheet like this can be used for a lot of different things. Besides what it is, it can be torn down and collaged. You could do things like that with it. I could even just cut the whole boy shape out in there, and then cut off parts of him so that, But you could do that with any shape. It doesn't have to be a little boy. You could do that with some of those women out of fashion magazines. Put it in with the glass of window panes, that kind of stuff. But having a bigger sheet to work from makes it easier to do that. I totally forgot about this. I always forget to cut out the little tiny pieces inside of the body, There we go. All right. So these were out of astronomy magazines. So I've got a couple of pages of this. But we want to cut that raggedy edge first. Yeah, definitely mushrooms, right? It's funny how when it's been moist, it'll be no mushrooms, no mushrooms, no mushrooms. You'll walk out into your backyard and all of a sudden there's like a sea of mushrooms. Or just a clump over there in the corner, but it's like 15 of them. In the moistest part of the yard, where it stays damp all the time. So anytime I see these, that's a lot of the reason I'll pick up an astronomy magazine, is hoping that I'll find some stuff like this and pictures of planets and things that I can cut out. Like, check this out. Is that not cool? So for right now, I'm just going to trim it down so that it's mostly just the, I don't want any of the words. I don't need the white border to store it. It's like pre-processing, so it's in the most usable shape. Today didn't rain or snow, but the power outage we had. Oh no. So now you can't get gas. That sucks. Hopefully they'll get that fixed up soon. Gas stations don't like to stay closed. I know that. So isn't that pretty? So that could wind up in a personal journal. That could be in a collage. I wouldn't necessarily want to use that as a background on something where it was going to get all covered up. But see, I could even technically cut away like this portion of it. I'm not going to right now because I don't know where I'm going to use it. But it almost looks like that could be like an animal screaming. You can sometimes pick out shapes in these. But yeah, I could make this smaller and just concentrate on that. Or I could even cut it this way and just focus, you know, I could crop it down further. But for now, I'm going to leave it like that. And ta-da, it went across 2 pages. So we're going to do it twice. Now, if I had left this raggedy edge, I could have pieced them together as well in a collage. But now that I'm cutting the edges, I could still piece it together. But I just cut that crooked sock. I got to trim it a little bit more. But you might notice a little bit more easily, unless you were covering that portion up, that they don't quite line up. You like hunting them, not eating them? Great. Well, they're wily, those mushrooms, you know. It's the thrill of the hunt. Now I get it. Some activities are more fun just to do the... It's like when people photograph animals instead of shoot them. Part of the thrill is being able to capture that, but not necessarily kill it. And you know, not everybody's about a physical trophy. Sometimes a photograph is enough. So that's pretty as well. So I'll create like an astronomy file of planets, and because I don't have one yet, I just want to cut this top off. It is Abu Dhabi, which is where Garfield was always trying to send Nerval, his annoying little nephew. So this is all about if I can cut it down, like obviously, because I'm saving time later by not having to do this as part of the collage process. I do like to get cityscapes of various kinds. You know, because you never know what you want, what you need, what your glue booking is going to take you to. So I cut out this one. It's like a... I don't think they're supposed to be ants. I think they're supposed to... maybe they're supposed to be ants. I don't know. They're bugs of some kind. Oh, you know what? I think it's supposed to be fleas on a dog, maybe? Because there's like hair and stuff up here. But I'm just going to cut out the individual little... You know, like you've got stuff going on. So I'm going to cut out the little individual kind of vignettes. Because I can't imagine using this as a whole. It just doesn't quite strike me as... Now I'll cut it apart and be like, oh, I wish I hadn't done that at some point, probably. Woof. Wow. Yeah, they can be quite expensive. And I know there are professional morel hunters. They do it because they go to farmers markets or they sell to restaurants. I don't think I've ever eaten a morel, to my knowledge. I have not. However, that doesn't, so I don't know if I would like them or not. But the sheer expense of it makes me not want to know that, you know, because that's something I definitely couldn't afford in my life. So we're just trying to... Maybe it's supposed to be ticks because ticks burrow under the skin. I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to be. But I thought it just might make a fun, weird thing to put on a collage, you know. So wherever they wind up stored, I'll try and keep them together. There we go. And then this part is just kind of weird, out of context. It's so it could be used as a collage fodder piece where you make a back, you know, just add it to a background for general interest and texture. Not to my knowledge. There we go. And I'm actually going to even make that into 2 pieces. So that will go in a collage fodder pile for later. Here are some small images that just need to be tidied up a little bit. That's what's tough about some of these. Max, if you only need to cut off a little bit, it can be difficult because the blade doesn't want to do that. Sometimes it's easier to start not right on the edge, you know. Modern times, farmers market in the COVID era, he's wearing his mask. It's a little seashell, and a couple of the edges are a little rough. You know what? Maybe, no, I'm going to cut it down. I can always fussy cut it out later, but if it's fussy cut, I can't get it back to a square image. So I'll start out with it as a square image, and the option to fussy cut is there. It's not like it's real complicated. All right. Let them live in their natural habitat. Enjoy the finding. Enjoy. At some point, I will get around to it, where the opportunity will arise. It's amazing how life finds a way to bring you new experiences, you know? And it does work that way sometimes. You put the energy out there in the universe, and maybe not the way you expected, but sometimes you get back results. A lot of the times you get back results. But my feeling is that often the things that you put out in the universe come back in different kind of ways, you know? Some barn, or it's a house that's meant to look like a barn, but also has a top and bottom porch there. Isn't that cool? This is out of El Decor. Could be a hotel. I don't know. It just says it's in Connecticut. Oops, I gotta cut this side first because the other side's not completely straight. And I want to cut those words off. Now see, same thing with this later. I could just fussy cut out the building and add it to any collage. I don't have to keep it square. But at this point, keeping it square gives me more options on where I might like to use it. Ooh. So here we've got, is this 2 pieces? Yes. Just some thin, and I'm going to try and scissors cut them, guys, because the border on them is so narrow. I feel like perhaps the cutter won't catch that, and I'll just wind up ripping and ruining it. And that defeats the purpose altogether. I just thought they were fun because they're very narrow. And usually most images are square or, you know, bigger rectangles. You don't find lots of tall, skinny. So it's kind of a fun. I thought they might be good for use in a glue book, and those little spaces that sometimes come up that you just can't find anything to put in. You're going to lurk from your... All right, Stephanie. Happy lurking. And good for being comfortable. I love it. That is awesome. Maybe we'll put you to sleep. It's happened before. It could happen again. Okay. Here we go. Can I cut a reasonably straight line? Someone told me the part of the trick is not to cut all the way down to the very tip of your scissors, because it has a tendency to make the paper get that swooshy thing at the top where it kind of wings out that way. So I'm trying to be careful about not closing the scissors all the way. so we don't create any swishy wobbly points. Lurking and relaxing is good. We love our lurkers. Okay, so we're going to cut the right there. Bits of buildings and murals and food, and there's a butterfly. Oh, that's a lady as a butterfly right there. I think what this is it's art on a wall. It's a giant mural on a wall, but it's designed in such a way that regular people can walk up to it and look like they have butterfly wings and take pictures, which I think is totally awesome. What a fun thing to do. I would stop if I was on a road trip and that was like a thing you could do. Or if it was in my city, you know, I could go do that. That could totally be fun. All right, so there we've got ourselves a little collection of images that we can put into, like that size is easily stored in a pencil box, you know, like one of these kind of pencil boxes, or in a little basket. Okay, this is the straightest edge, so we'll go from there. And this is kind of, it's a shower, but it's got like, they're saying it's one of those rainforest showers, you know, with the gentle spray, but a great big old nozzle. So they put in like a whole kind of rainforest vignette down there, or a garden sort of thing going on. I just thought it would be fun as a potential background, or to put into a personal journal, you know, as just a fun focal on a page. Let's see. So I'm gonna attempt to do this by hand. This is one of those rugs. Nope, I'm gonna have to. This is one of those kind of rug sample images out of one of those home decor magazines. But I want to cut the you could do your own kind of mosaic with this sort of image, because once you cut it down it can get very small, and you can cut it down like you could cut these in half or into quarters, and then do just kind of a generic mosaic pattern. I think that would be a good use. And I'm cutting the product numbers off there because I don't need those. And I think they would be distracting in the final collage, depending on what these are used for. It's also a good way to make a neutral background, because there are some of these in almost every one, so you could save up for a while and do a nice big background, like a masterboard if you wanted. You could cut them down into tags or use your die cutter to cut them into shapes, or then just collage over it as a nice neutral background. Which is something I might actually do. Oh, I didn't cut the edge off this side. I may have made those all crooked on accident. There we go. And so this was like a set of 12. I think it's not even on this side. So I'm still watching that series on Netflix. What did I decide it was called? Stay Close, which is a book. I can't remember the author. They showed it at the beginning. I mean, I'm still in episode 2 though. And I'm not sure. It says season 1, episode 2, but I think there's only 1 season so far. I also didn't look at that. I'm liking it. Eddie Izzard is in it. It's one of those kind of, you made a bad decision in your life and then later on you have a normal life, but somebody from your past shows up. And the more you try and, keep your current life from intersecting with your old life, and then things spiral down over there. It's that kind of story. Okay. Oops. Okay, so now we've got a nice little pile of those. Let's add them over there. And then this is just a little cityscape. I always try and start from a flat edge so that I don't have to trim it twice, especially on something so small. Which is why sometimes you only see me cut something like, I'll leave the edges on purpose instead of trying to cut it with the scissors. Because I know that later I'm going to want to cut it with the trimmer. And I need at least one flat edge. Sometimes I don't remember that, and then I'm kicking myself later. So there's just a skyscraper right there, and there's this one in shadows over here, and a couple of potted plants. That could be great for a glue book, kind of like an urban scene, where you're focusing on urban buildings. Now, what do we got going on here? I'm going to attempt to, I don't think I can, so... This would wind up in a personal journal anyway, so I think I'm just going to even it up as best I can. And there's some words down here at the bottom, so we're just going to take those off. And there, it's like a comfy, cozy little seating area. Although the back of the chair is pretty low, I don't know that I would personally find that comfortable, but it does strike that kind of cozy vibe, you know? There's some toucans. I don't know what I would need toucans for, but they're so bright and colorful. I'm going to attempt to cut this with the scissors. All right. And then we've got, it's pink, whatever it is. It's just a landscape scene, but I think maybe it's been digitally altered so that what normally would look green looks pink. Because it's foliage and stuff. Or it could just be a field of really pink flowers growing all over everything. It struck me as kind of weird and alien looking. Sometimes you like do color themed. So this would be nice on a pink, if you were doing a pink themed collage. All right, and what we've got here is this is out of like a home design kind of thing, and you can see the hands holding up. It's comforters and stuff like that. But I thought it would make good collage fodder. Because green is a nice neutral. But I wanted to tear the hands out, obviously, and have them be a nice manageable size. for when you want like greens on something, but you don't want them all to be the same pattern, you know. A nice little variety. And I don't think I want that piece. So there we go. See, now we have a nice tidy little pile of collage fodder that could be used together if you're trying to be monochromatic in your design, you know, or to use with other pieces. However it goes. Okay, now on this one, I don't necessarily want that chain, but I think I want to fussy cut this out. But I'm gonna just remove the chain, the dangling part of the chain. One, because it'll be hard to store. It'll run the risk of getting ripped. And two, it's really hard to fussy cut something that narrow. I need to get a new set of X-Acto blades so that I can use some X-Acto blades to fussy cut some more intricate things. My blades are pretty dull from just taking book blocks out. And you can sharpen them, but I'm not very good at it, so I just prefer to buy new ones. It is not one of my skills. So there, see, we have a little shape that we can use in collage. All right, Janice, and get your coffee. I know it's important. We gotta have our coffee energy, right? Okay, now this is one of those really modern buildings. There are some words over here. I still don't quite get them. There we go. Now we got a little. And then I don't like that little. I want it to be just a little more even. But it's not going to be because I want it to be. There we go. And then we need to take that hard edge off the bottom. There we go. I wanted to fussy cut this guy out. I'm trying to look at where his. That kind of blends into the background. Tone on tone with that background in his sweater. So we could use him as is, or we could give him some funky legs. You just never know. That goes into the fussy cut pile. Let's see what's up for us next. Okay, that one just needs to be evened up. Or do I want to just cut out the lamp? I'll just cut it out for right now. But probably what's going to happen is I will wind up fussy cutting out the lamp. It's kind of my jam. Lamps are one of the things I do like to use and just randomly. And it's like the shoes thing. Sometimes a lamp just needs to go there, you know? Sometimes. All right. So I like the kind of, I think I wanted it for this. It's a very Spartan space, but I do like that pinky blue bubble thing. I have to concentrate when I cut circles because I'm not good at it. It's probably one of those things that if you do it for a long time, maybe you get better at it. I don't know. Anyway, I just kind of dig that. I dig it. And okay, so there's like a hot tub, and I think that's supposed to be a sauna there. So there's two hot tubs in different sizes, and then I think that's a sauna right there. Let's see, above outdoor panoramic sauna out of Japanese cedar. That's cool. Okay, but I also want this little like tree housey kind of thing. So, but I'm going to start this way because the flat edge is at the top. I just thought it looked kind of weird. It might be fun in a glue book, you know. It almost looks like a giant telescope. It's definitely a sauna according to the description below it. Anyone else have a thing for baskets? I love baskets. They're not always practical though unless you have a lot of built-in shelving. Okay. Treehousey thing. I think we'll cut it right there. So there we go. That's an interesting perspective on it, you know? Okay. What's next? Did I want that? Well, I must have thought it was pretty groovy at one point. So we'll just trim all the big white edges off that. It's definitely, I could write over it, so I might have thought it would be fun. Because I do like sitting out under umbrellas in the, when it's nice and sunny. I don't tan, I burn. And I turn beet red, so. But I will sit outside under an umbrella and like read a book or stare at the clouds. So that may be what I was thinking with that. Okay, and then this one I just wanted to cut the hand out. It's a big giant hand. First, let's cut down some of these edges. Just on the two sides, I think, is all I need. These two sides right here. There we go. Now, giant hand and some rings. Going around the fingernails. You could find a little mountain climber or somebody rappelling off a mountain and add it to the fingers. And that could be fun and interesting. Let me cut this big piece off here. Oops, I did not make a very smooth edge right there. Okay. I cut around the edges of the rings. dogs might have the zoomies. And I was last out in the kitchen area. I was making a sandwich for myself. Alice was watching the trial, the Johnny Depp thing. I'm like, bleh. I don't want to know. It'll make his films less enjoyable for me. I know people tend to have this really ravenous curiosity about celebrities. And I just don't. I don't want to know. I don't want to know about their lives. I don't want to know the gory, intimate details. Because I don't have any fantasy that they are the characters they inhabit. That's a skill. That's a job. You wouldn't want to know everything about, the guy that comes and fixes your plumbing's life like that. Presumably. I don't know. It's just not for me. And then we got to get out the small scissors and do this little bit over here by the pinky. This little tiny bit over here by the pinky. And I'm not saying it's wrong of anybody to watch it if that's your jam. It's just not for me. All right. There we go. Big giant hand for collaging. You get too dark for your community? That's funny. Tina, when you were a kid, you always tan, but not now. Yeah. Oh, I did lay out, a little bit when I was younger, but you quickly come to realize that, I wanted to cut out just the faucet pieces, but I'm so not into it now. So that one can go away. And I couldn't decide if I just wanted to cut that down or if I wanted to tear. I think I want to tear it down. Okay, tear that down. And then we'll give it a little bit of a ragged edge at the top. There we go. There we go. It's just a bed. I don't know why I wanted that. Well, it is right overable, and it is a big, comfy looking bed. My bedroom would never look this way because I am a messy person. Like, I'm a piler. I pile things, and I would never have a pile of books that small or that neat. It would be like up here. That's the truth. Here is somebody playing soccer in the middle of a sand dune. Definitely from a fashion magazine because they're wearing this big old puffy thing. I always take my master puffy jacket out to the desert. Get my soccer on. That's how I roll. Lion, I've never played soccer in my whole life. I don't like to run. All right. So that could be fun and just like oh, this edge is a little rough. Just like a little jag in it. Okay. Here we go. You see this ad all the time, but I just really, and I honestly can't tell you if that's a boy or a girl, and I don't care. The dress is fabulous on him or her, on them, on they, on. And that is a big ass handbag. You could hurt somebody with that thing. Oops. This side is in shadow, so it's kind of hard to tell where to cut beyond the flash tones because it's, because it is in shadows. Let me see if I can do it this way, if I can go. Oh, no, it's pretty straight down because the other arm is hidden behind the body. It's a very sideways kind of look. It's a very kind of 50s look, isn't it? With the skirt and the top. I accidentally cut the hair a little bit right there, so I'll have to do a little repair. But there it is. Ta-da! A big fussy cut. I only way I tan is if I get half an hour a day for weeks. Yeah. You stay inside like a troll. It's true. When I was walking to work and biking to work, I did pick up a little bit of a tan. Over time, because but mostly I was going to and from work. These are fussy cutters. Something about giant watches, I just have to. And I think I even already have this watch, but I just have to. So when I'm outdoors a lot for little bits of time, I will start to get some color. But I don't get that, like, I don't tan like most people. It's just, and I'm like you. I could definitely be a house troll. I don't want to live under a bridge unless they've got room for bookcases, Can I be a troll under a bridge near a library? Ta-da, big giant watch. Second big giant watch. This is the J12, self-winding manufacture movement. Swiss made, 5-year warranty. I wonder how many bajillions of dollars these things are. Probably don't want to know. Boom, 2 big giant watches. There they are. Yeah. When I was biking to and from work and walking, um, this is a postcard I got. I did wear sunscreen because I burn very easily, even in the end of the day sun, in the beginning of the day, when it's not as in your face. This is when I was getting Sketchbox. I love owls, and I've been holding on to this image. I don't know why. I probably because I'm hoarding it. I'm a hoarder. I'm hoarding it. But this is just a postcard, and we're just gonna put it in the pile. uh, okay, that one's already cut. I'm gonna put this in the creepy file though, because don't you feel like a little bit they could be watching some shit going on over here, like. So I'm gonna put that over there. And then I don't have any plans to cut this right now. This is all supposed to be one continuous image. It's out of a National Geographic. And I kind of a little bit wanted to maybe put that on a book cover. For kind of an ethereal, otherworldly kind of look. I really like that. So I've been holding on to it. But I think I'm going to make a special folder just for that sort of thing. Same thing with this one, although I can cut the top off on this one because I don't know that it has a companion piece. But I'm going to leave it rough on this edge just in case I find that there is another part that goes over here. But same thing with this. I could see that totally just on like a journal cover. Yeah, it's a little bit surreal, a little bit ethereal. Kind of got a thing going on. I've had this one for a while, and I just love the look of it. So I'm going to fussy cut her out. Or at least I'm going to attempt to. I thought she's just fun, right? With the fun springy dress, and it's kind of a happy fit. Her braids and stuff. I love the hair, but I would never do that to my hair. I would look stupid. See, that's a certain level of confidence right there, because I would feel silly in that hair. But I like it when I look at it on other people, you know, when you see those hairstyles, you're like, ooh, that's cool. I don't have the self-confidence to pull it off, you know. It's like the eye makeup thing. Now, I probably should have just left this because this is going to be easily folded and mangled. But hopefully cutting it out means we'll use it soon. So, yeah. I think I have several pieces like that I'd like to just do for kind of a nature journal thing. And then those aren't even really braids. It's just a ponytail divided up with those tiny little rubber bands so it looks more puffy. I'm going to not try and fussy cut out her fingers right now. I will save those for tiny scissors. All the little bits in here, I'm going to leave those for when I finally use the image. Because I think it will be easier. to do it at the time it's used than to risk the fingers getting ripped off and stuff, you know. It's going to be bad enough with the arm. I just have to be extra careful or use it extra soon. Ooh, come on. Down to the tippy tip of the toe. There we go. Aha! I did it. And we'll leave that little bits until I use it. Okay. Let's get rid of these bits and take a drink. Right? Like, first of all, I probably don't have the coordination to pull it off, but I want to make this into a square image. I was going to fussy cut. Well, you know what? I think we could fussy cut that out. I think we could. It's just a fun, silly image. He almost looks like he's in a lab coat, but it's a big white trench coat. But in the right context, we could turn him into a mad scientist, maybe. Maybe he's not right up against a hedge. And these are the stories we tell ourselves. I think he's got some kind of... Can't tell if that's poking. I'm going to cut it off. He might have had cornrows, or it might have been a little bit of shrubbery poking up behind his head. But I didn't want to give him shrubbery cornrows if he had just, you know, normal hair. Normal, natural hair. Let's cut that. Oh, my hand is numb. Hold on. You still have COVID here? Oh, yeah, that could be a problem. I haven't cut mine either. The last time someone cut it, it was Elle's. Right before Mike colored it. And I haven't had it colored in a while because I've been in a no-touchy mood for a long time. I just don't want to touch people, and I don't want them to touch me. And thankfully, I live in a situation where that's largely possible. So I haven't had my hair colored in months either. I was due the last. I was well overdue the last time Elle's had hers done, because she has had hers colored twice since the last time I did mine. And I think I might, at this point, I might just let it grow out. Because it's mostly grown out. There's a little bit of blue, a little bit of light blue left. And welcome, Artie Dar. Who, what, when, where, why? I don't know. We're making up the stories as we go along. With collage, you can make it into any who, any when, anywhere, any why. Just about. That's the fun part about collaging and glue booking. It's the story you want to tell. It's the images you like. It's the vibe that you feel when you look at something. Because there, now he just became a zany mad scientist. And I gave him a little dangly down part that he doesn't need. And he's got a little bump over here on his head that doesn't need to be there. Let's just smooth that out a little bit. Darn shrubs. There we go. So he might go in that one that we're going to do with the Bride of Frankenstein. So we'll put him into the creepy pile. You're going to try and do your boho tomorrow? Woohoo! I would love to see you do your boho. All right, now I'm going to... Nope, I don't want that image. I decided just then. There's so many words on it. I don't want to deal with it. That one can go away too. So I do get rid of images sometimes. This is a big cheesecake. You know I'm going to keep it. Cutting the edge off that. Right? Okay, so we're going to cut all the Philadelphia stuff off there. And the words off the bottom. Because we don't need that. I did get to have a bagel and cream cheese last night. Well, I don't get that very often. It was delicious. Okay, this is a big egg sandwich. I love egg sandwiches, guys. I do. I love them. But I think I was going to fussy cut it out because of how the words are on here. I don't know. Somebody's out there yelling about something. Something happened. Okay. I do like the background color though, but all those words. I couldn't get a straight line cut without cutting off part of the egg sandwich. And then I would have to leave all these words up in here, and I don't want to do that. So we're just going to fussy cut out this lovely egg sandwich. It's eggs and basil, tomatoes. Looks like maybe some focaccia bread. And maybe a little cheese going on in there. That sounds delicious. And there it is. Egg sandwich. Oh, don't talk munchies. Okay, I'm sorry. I made everybody unhappy. All right. Sorry. I'm going to put him into the creepy pile because I kind of want to find a bunch of little pumpkins to put around him while he's sitting there with his morning paper going, this isn't happening to me. This is not happening to me. So he just goes into the creepy pile. Let's see. This one just needs to be evened up a little bit. Kind of an exercise one, but I just like the look of it. And away it goes into its little pile. Now, I think if I fussy cut him out of context, he will look good in a collage. You know, just a fun little, because he's dancing, but that's going to look even weirder just free floating in a collage. Cut that off. Make it a little easier to work with. Got still a little white piece down here. There we go. Or fly. Yeah. That could be a really weird taking off for flying pose. That's true. Yeah, so I think I'm going to add him to for the 52 weeks of collage, the last guy on the doorstep, because because of the look on his face, I think that it would be really fun to put some little creepy pumpkins around him and maybe a few other small images. We'll see what we can come up with. I'm going to get out the scissors for the hand. The little bitty scissors. I feel like I'm about to mangle his poor little hand. You know what? We're just going to cut his arm off. We're going to pretend like that didn't happen. We'll wind up giving him another arm later. We'll make it even weirder. Or the way the garments fold, he could even be having his arm behind his back. Then around his shoe. And there we go. But yeah, we could totally just add on a weird arm for him. He goes into the fussy cut pile. Yes, yes. Weird is it's a thing I said. Okay, I just want this picture right here. And I'm trying to be careful about not dumping little bits onto the floor, about getting them into the trash can. Now we could always fussy cut around her face later and add it to somebody else's body, or just have it be like, you know, it just depends, but that's a good start. This one is for fussy cutting, but I think what I'm going to do is just chop it down smaller because it's got this little bits of gold dripping down and stuff. I think I'm going to wait to fussy cut it until I'm ready to use it because it does have little fiddly bits. But it'll be easier to store cut down smaller. Stuff it in the file 13. This was an article about cryptocurrency. All right, so she will be ready to go when we're ready to fussy cut her out. Now, I really like this one. I like the idea of this. So I think I'm going to leave it as is, and we'll try and put something over the Skechers words. I just want to cut, if we're going to have it square, I want to cut this edge to be square as well. But this might be fun to do, like cut out some windows and stuff and put it on a background and try and attempt this on your own. But I'm going to use this as it is and maybe add things sitting on top of the frames and whatnot. So we may add to this. I'm going to add this to the creepy file. It's just a highway and there's like a dilapidated building over here. But I think we could do something creepy with that. Okay. See, and this is the other side of the page on that one, the house we did the other day with the people sitting on the porch. Here's that tree. And, you know, it reminds me, those two trees, there was the one on the other side. It would have been like here. This is the other part of it where I thought they remind me a little bit of that tree that came alive in the Poltergeist movie. So I'm going to put that in the creepy file. It went in the creepy file. Now, I suspect that I may wind up cutting out this butterfly to use, but for now, just going to trim it a smidge. And that's it. But I think probably what's going to happen is we'll wind up cutting this out. Let's see, are any of these edges straight? Not really. We'll just do our best. I'm going to try with the scissors. That's what's going to happen. Teamwork during COVID, right? Elbow instead of fist bumps and masks on. I think probably I'm going to use this in my personal journal as kind of a sign of the time sort of thing, you know. It's a little crooked, but let's start from there and see what we can do. See if we can get that to straighten up just a smidge. Because it was just a little curved. Just a little bit. I think that'll do, but I'm going to put that in my personal journal. I have the jelly plate I was sent, which is a 5x7, I think. And then I have my bigger jelly plate. I kind of wanted to hold out till I got some metallic paints, but I could give it a try. We could maybe do that next week. Let me see if I can find my planner at the end of this. And we'll get it out and we will put it in the planner because then I have to do what the planner says. I always do what my brain tells me to do. And thank God Els isn't in here because that's not an invitation for her to sneak stuff into my planner that I would never normally do. All right, I don't know what I would need a nurse for, and we may actually fussy cut her out, but that's a start. Okay, so we've got some buggy things going on. Do I want any of this? I don't know. Maybe. We'll cut them out. If you put little tiny people on there, that would be really creepy, right? Little tiny people. Somebody sent me some old National Geographics at some point. About a year ago. And I had sorted through most of it, but some of these smaller things needed cutting out. There, we're going to have a little bug file. Because I do, we did, when they had a paint sale at, I think it was Hobby Lobby, or maybe it was Michael's. I'm not sure which one. Not that long ago. And they had the 8-ounce bottles on sale of primary colors. And Els was bought a few for me. Because right now my budget is rather bleak. But, okay, and then in here, I just want to, I like this as a background kind of for like a smaller collage. I'm going to even it up because I think maybe it's a little bit wonky. But I thought I could get something, cut something out round. Ha 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 ha. And then add it to this. And that would be kind of a fun, like, little square. Either piece of a glue book or just a really small collage piece. There we go. So that's kind of where my thought is at. Still not quite straight. That's what happens when you start trimming these. You have to usually go around it twice to get it totally straight. If you don't have one straight edge. All right, I think we got it. I think that's straight enough. All right. Now this one is kind of a weird. I thought this would be a good background, so I was just going to cut the edges off it to make it a little bit easier to store because it is quite large image. So I'm just getting it a little closer to the edges. Make it a little bit easier to store because now it's more of a normal sized page. There we go. Now it's more normal. What do we have here? Oh, I thought that might make a good surreal. I don't know why that's in there. I don't know. I thought that might make a good surreal background. On this one, we'll just trim that rough edge off. Just not tonight. This is my thing for tonight. And I'm prepping for a sale on Friday, so I don't want to do anything real messy. But next week we can definitely do it. I need to try and create a sort of... Well, let's just fussy cut him out. It is just an old man. I don't know if it's an actor in a role or just an old man, but he will probably look good as a creepy old man in something. Oops, I don't think his hair goes that high. I think that's part of the background. There we go. Creepy old man for collaging. Sam and Dean Winchester, just in case you need them. Okay. You never know when you might need a little bit of that in your life. That came out of that one magazine that was about get some blueberries. That was about TV shows. Okay, fussy cut. We've got a little elephant there. We may ultimately cut that elephant out, but for now we'll add him. He's about as done as he's going to get. Lady with the baby. Some of these were already mostly processed. Beets. There's some beets going on. Landscape. And food, because I like food. That's going to be for my personal journal. I love eggs for breakfast. I do. Another elephant picture. There we go. Okay. Oh, here we go. I know there's another half of this somewhere, so we're going to fussy cut that out. And we'll see what else we've got. Or maybe I want to leave it. Do I want to leave it? Let me just cut the extra off and put it in the fussy cut pile, and we'll cut it out when it's time or closer to being time. Like if I know I'm going to use it on a specific day, I might cut it out in advance. Because it's got lots of little fuzzy stuff around it too, so thanks, Artie Door. This is from one of those depression ads. I just think it's funny that the robe is going after the lady. You know, you want to come and put me back on? I'm comfy. We may cut just the antlers out here, or we might use the deer picture. We've got a couple of seals. I'm not sure what that is. A waterfall. Food pictures. So these go in the medium pile. These go in the smaller pile. I definitely have a food thing going on. I love pictures of food. There's another cheeseburger, in case you were wondering. Yes, I almost always cut out a cheeseburger. Okay, so this is part of a peacock kind of pattern, and I thought it would make a good... I just want to cut the words off down here. I thought it would make a good background. Let's see. Oh, naked lady. It got folded. You never know when you might need a naked lady. So we'll just add her to the big pile. Okay, and then this is a polo ad, but I love the size and color. Especially this long, thin one. Like I said, it's an unusual size for images, and it's a good space filler, but it's also fun and colorful. So we do not need the bottle of polo, however. That can go away. I just like the fun colors. They make me happy. Okay, let's cut all the white borders off. And I don't know what's going on with his outfit. Is that a backpack for hiking? That's a lot of straps. Oops. Okay. Trying to get, ooh, that did not cut. It looked like it cut, but it didn't cut all the way through. All right, let's do it again. There we go. Because there's something bulky. There's some glue on the back of that was holding it up. There we go. For me, this is more about the colors than about the brand. They cut off the tops of their heads. Off with their heads. All right. Hi. Okay. So I think I just wanted to cut the border off this one. I think this is going to go in a personal journal. It has almost a fairy tale or sci-fi feel to it. And it's eminently journal overable. So it could go on a whole page. And I could journal right over the edge of that. Somehow that did not come out straight. Let's try that again. You hate branding and fads? Antlers? Yeah, I'm not really a brand person, but I love the colors in that, so I am willing to put aside the branding just to enjoy the fun colors of it. Okay. Nobody tells Susan that I like the pink thing. Doesn't it have a little bit of a sci-fi or fantasy feel to it? The hairdo and all the pink and the blue. It does a little bit, I think. To me, it does. I think I wanted this little stopwatch. So I think I wanted what I wanted to do. Hold on. I think I remember what I had planned here. And then I was going to fussy cut out the rest of this. Because it would look nice in the corner of a page. Maybe. There we go. Now I'm going to cut out the rest of that, this side and this inside piece, when I'm ready to use it, simply because that's going to get real floppy. Very floppy. Red is big. Let's see. There's just a single like rose petal. It's not even a whole bud. I don't know. I'm going to keep that as is. I'm just going to take the rough edge off this side. and the numbers off the bottom corner down here. There we go. I'm just going to cut the rough edge off this. It's a naked lady. I know not everybody's comfortable, but sometimes I do collage with nude people in certain themes. It's not about sex. It's just sometimes nudity is appropriate for something. And she's covering up all the important bits anyway. It's just a lot. Did I want this? Yeah, I think I wanted this for, I'm going to cut off the logo piece for like a spring around Valentine's Day. I may only want the very center out of it, but I'll cut out the whole thing. And I'm even going to cut off the top there. And we're just going to go with it in the circle. There we go. There we go. And then just some faces. You never know when you want just a face to be in a collage. They can be good space fillers. And again, depending on facial, like these are all happy faces, but you know, we've all seen the starving, sucked in faces and the brooding faces, and sometimes just the right face with the right expression. Like it might be a really dark collage and all of a sudden here's this creepy face over here with the big smiling, you know, could be a thing. You're not pink or red, you're more. Oops. Oh boy. Put that in the middle and go both ways. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we got some little faces to use. That's just collage fodder in the bucket. Let's see. We've got some little things going on. Little things. On the phone, I can't get these things apart. There's some tiny little pieces in here. All right. So we got the little bit of yellow, and then we got an eyeball, which I'm just gonna take that down a little bit more. So I've got a collage fodder pile over here, and I've got a faces pile. Okay, what's this? Oh, bold face, flirty face. I don't know what to do with that. We'll put it over here for right now. It says blooms while you sleep. That's probably what I wanted it for. I don't want to cut that down really small. I can cut it down smaller when I'm ready to use it. But I do want to cut it down a little bit smaller than it is. And we'll just tuck words up there for right now. Here is Elizabeth Taylor as Cleopatra. And I think I just wanted to fussy cut her out. Classic Hollywood image, right? That's the glamour era. right, there we go. We got it. Yeah, little bits that you can glue together. Just, little bits of color. Sometimes I'll just rip out, like, look. I'm going to cut out this hand, but I love this orange. So I'll tear off the edges on that. I loved Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I saw it with, who's that blonde chick from Moonlighting? That's who I saw it with, and I thought she did a good job. So now, there we go. Orange collage fodder. It's a thing. We're going to cut out these little yellow pumps because they're fun, and I like to put shoes in collages. It's a me thing. And away we go. I've seen a few Elizabeth Taylor movies. I like to watch an old black and white movie every now and then. I love Rear Window. I love the White Christmas, the musical. Oh, really love that. I watch it every year at Christmas time. Okay, shoe. We'll go ahead and get the second shoe. I can see the chat moving. I'll be there in a second to read it. I'm going to concentrate on not cutting off the heel on this shoe. And thank you guys for watching my video this morning. And to those of you who purchased my Star Wars packs, I will have those in the mail for you tomorrow. I think you'll enjoy them. 2 yellow shoes. Slightly different styles, but... Oh, here we go. We just have the letter M. That'll go with our ransom letters. Okay. So, now let's cut out this hand. I got a thing about hands, too. To make it a little easier to work with right there. You can see in the shadow. The other side of the paper, so I'm trying to be careful. This gets cut where it's supposed to be cut. There we go. This one's fairly easy. Hand. Now, on a little bit of this, I like where this is going from the lighter yellow into the deeper yellow. So let's make ourselves a little bit of collage fodder there. There we go. That's going from white into the yellow. So we'll take a little bit of that. but we don't want any straight edges. When I do collage fodder, I want all the edges to be rough because, you know, presumably you're nailing it down to the paper as a background, the way you would tear up like a book page and glue it down with no hard edges so they blend together better. Okay, so I just wanted to make this one a little more square. That was the whole goal behind that. There we go. Now we got that to work with. Okay, I think we were gonna just have a, there we go. I think that's what I was looking for. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Sybil Shepherd. Yes, yes, that's who it was. She did a good job, I thought. Yeah, yeah. I'm on Top Chat. Oh, whoever came in, I can't see who it is. I'm a dork. Magenta is your aura. Cool. You don't often get to hear those kind of things in your life. This is just a woman with great big giant glasses on. It's just a fun little thing that we can add into something. It might wind up in my personal journal. Some things that I just find personally amusing, I keep them for myself. Let's see. I'm not sure what that. I think that's supposed to be. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But it is a blob of color, so we're just going to fussy cut around that. So we can add it to the background of something. I don't know if it's supposed to be nail polish, like kind of running together. I'm not sure anymore. Separated from the context, it's hard to tell. I think it might be nail polish. It has that kind of liquidy look to it. Or it could be paint, you know, depending on what kind of magazine this came out of. The other side looks like a moisturizing ad, so this is probably nail polish. Would be my guess. You guys, this is helping so much get things sorted out. Okay. Put that in the fussy cut pile, or that might wind up in the just in the, I don't like that anymore. Nope. There's a little lipstick over it. Somebody's mouth. We'll keep that. Got a set of legs. It's really, really long legs. Check them out. That is super long. Okay. Got it. There we go. Super long legs. Okay. We have a very happy person either in underpants or a bathing suit. I can't tell. Could be either one. Can't get the scissors quite. I'm just going to cut the sunglasses off her head because that's annoying. I think she'll be easier to use in a collage. Fussy cut out. All right, but I am going to leave the arm spaces, the spaces between the where her arms are here, until later so that we don't bend up the arms. Okay, I do think ultimately I'm going to fussy cut that out, but I'm going to leave it the way it is for now because that's got a lot of little pieces on it. She's kind of a pinup girl look to her, huh? I must have kind of wanted to cut her out for some reason. I think because it's just a normal looking lady. It's not a movie star or a fashion model. It's just a normal. Okay. It's easy top legs. That's your era. I was not a hippie then, just saying. Well, nobody's ever just one thing. We are evolving as human beings. It's a little bit of a water pick right there. Be good for a summer vibe. All right. This one I'll keep. We'll just fussy cut out this lipstick. Here we go. There we go. Got a little lipstick going on. Okay. That is very crooked. I don't think I can save that. But here we are, some red shoes. Gonna try and make it work. Okay. All right. Those are some pointy toes. These would not be shoes I could ever wear, but they are very red. There we go. Did it. Ta-da. Fussy cut. Okay, let's grab these scraps. Okay, now I am going to fussy cut that out, but I am not going to attempt to do that live. That's a lot of small, slender areas and details. So I will save that to fussy cut out later. Okay. Oh, here's the other side of that very colorful polo ad. Let's cut out these pictures. Or X-Acto, yeah. I don't do X-Acto live. We don't all need to watch an accident waiting to happen on a live stream. Also, I need to get new blades so that fussy cutting with an X-Acto knife is best done with new sharp blades. I usually could keep 2 bases. I'm down to 1 base. I lost a base. So that I can have one that's like for doing book blocks and stuff, where if the blade gets a little dull, it's not that big a deal. But I try and keep one with like a sharp blade in it. I lost the dull one, the base, it didn't have a blade in it at the time. And so I've just been using the one, and now the blade is dull, and I'm not prepared to replace it yet, because mostly what I use it for is for cutting book blocks out of covers. Because I hadn't been collaging or really making art of any kind for a while, I had not needed one. But it's going to be time to be in the market for a new X-Acto knife and a few replacement blades. Lots of little tiny polo ads. These are good space fillers too, and they're nice and colorful. So that's a double bonus. I always take my shirt off when I'm out with the horses trying to play polo. I just whip that sucker right off and go for it. Yeah, there's a mat under here. Okay, now probably at some time I thought I was going to fussy cut out all these sunglasses. I think that could be a fun summer background though, couldn't it? I'm going to wait though and cut this when it's time to use it. And it doesn't even have a rough edge. So we'll just add that to the pile. Okay, big people or little ads? I think I want little ads. Must have been a multi-page spread. I do like the convertible one. I don't ever want to ride in a convertible. I don't enjoy the whole wind in your face thing. But I do like images of them. I always think a little bit of Thelma and Louise, though, you know. Or middle-aged man having a midlife crisis kind of thing. She looks good in that purple top. Purple's a good color on her. Oops. Gonna have to cut a little bit more of that one off. I made it crooked. I didn't hold it tight enough and it slipped a little bit when I cut it. Oh, I don't want to take care of horses. I've been horseback riding a few times in my life, and I do find it enjoyable, but I am not the kind of person, that's a lot of care and upkeep, although horses are beautiful animals. Not a goal in life of mine. I know quite a few people love, and they're good. It's good therapy, horseback riding for. I know that's been used as a form of therapy, which I think is awesome. There we go. Now we have like triple the amount of colorful people images we had before. I just wanted to cut off the rough edge in the bottom. Ultimately, I'm probably going to fussy cut her out. Maybe I'll go ahead and do that right now. Let me just cut this off here. Oops. I'll let it slide a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. I'm saying my preferences. I'm not saying that nobody should do that or nobody should like that. That's never what I'm getting at. And if I lost weight, I'd go horse riding again. I worked with a lady who said her theory on, you know, like tourists that come in and go, want to go horseback riding. If you can't get up on the horse on your own, you have no business being up there. And right now, I doubt I could get up on a horse by myself. So, but I would definitely, if I were able to lose some weight and regain a little bit of my flexibility, which is kind of what I'm starting to work on now, I would go horseback riding again. I just don't want to care for the animals, you know. That part does not interest me at all. There we go. Okay. Now this one is just going to be, oh, that's a naked lady. Okay. Look at the blue hair here. Love that. Not sure what I'm going to use it for, but I'm in love with it. And I have a front shot of this lady, and she's an older lady. I'm going to bring that out in a second. Oops. Might be time to take a break. Getting a little bit. My hand keeps slipping on the page, and so it'll move. If you don't hold it down firm. But she's got like ombre blue and teal hair. How awesome is that? And it's crazy hair. When you get to see the other view of it. I think that's from my personal journal. See, like here's the side view. Love it. And she's wearing a suit with that crazy hair. Let's see. Has Els put out the video for the new theme? Or are you still just working on boho? If she put out the video, I didn't get a notification. I'll have to go look at her channel and see. Because I like to think about it for a while before I do it. I think I'm just going to cut all those words off. I don't think I'm doing any disservice to her hair. I just don't like the words in there. But I think these images are going in my personal journal. I just love it. You know what I don't know? Well, that seems logical. Yes, she did. And she looked good in the lavender hair, I thought. And I think this is the same lady lavender hair. This is a lighter color because the gray shows through, and I love that. I love that too. I gotta have these older ladies with their fun, crazy, messy hair in my journal. It makes me happy. But I am gonna cut the words off, so that's gonna cut it really close to her face. This is kind of a living your life out loud sort of thing for me. I just didn't want to cut her chin off, but I got all the words off. There we go. And that's a sly kind of look, isn't it? Love it. Oh, there you go. With good neighbor. Yeah. Good neighbors can be important, or friends that you can meet with regularly. That's a fashion ad, and she is up on a foam pole, and that is ugly as sin. We're just going to cut it down a smidge. Take the rough edge on that side and the words off the bottom here. Because I think if I cut that any smaller, oh, I didn't get all the words, phooey. Then I'm ruining kind of the effect of the image. There we go. And I'm going to cut this side too, because obviously it didn't fit in the box. And it started to curl up on one side. But I don't think we're losing any of the feel of the roughness of the brick or the... There we go. That's kind of a New Year's kind of vibe right there. So I might keep that. I am definitely not a going out on New Year's kind of person. But that could serve as an image on the day. This is from March 2007. Somebody had a big party. But it does kind of have that New Year's Eve feel to me. So I'm going to keep it for that. Woo! Or I'm going to rip it. Well, we can make repairs on the back side. See what I said? My fingers are not my hand this tired, and I still have work to do. Let's see. What do we got here? Black and white images. Oh, there's somebody's tushy in the water. I think that's too dark to use. I'll just cut this one down. I think this might be too dark to use too, but I'm going to try. Artist choice, so it's whatever you want to do. I wouldn't necessarily go with whatever's my favorite. I would go with creepy. But I think creepy is going to be an actual theme. I believe that to be true. I do not know it to be true. Only Els knows what the topics are. Unless extremely plain is a style. Aw, Janice. I loved everything I've seen from you so far. You gotta get, get in the groove with your mojo. Get to... And sometimes a plain base is good because then you can add anything you want. If you go extreme with the style and decoration, you're limiting yourself on where it could go in the future. Is that like she did an artist choice earlier in the year already? Are we having another dealer's choice? Is that what's happening? Did she pull something she didn't like? Okay, I'm going to keep that for the creepy file because that could be somebody chasing her through the field, Okay. This box is an endless. I just cut so many things. Let's see where we are time-wise. Tushy! It was a little naked tushy diving into the water. Oh, 2 hours, guys. Artist choice just means whatever you want to do with it. Els, is that the new theme? Have you already put out the new theme and I missed it? Because I didn't even see a video from you today come up in my feed. I saw one come up like yesterday. It was a video, not a live. But I don't remember seeing one. But they don't always send me the notice, I know. We'll have to do it again. Look, let me finish fussy cutting out this guy, and I'm going to show you the bin that I have. Plus, I haven't even finished all the stuff that was in that one flat rate envelope where we only did a small, tiny portion of that. But we have sorted a whole lot, so that means stuff can go into envelopes. And I pulled some stuff from my personal journal. Now, I am going to cut out the rest of the stool around him and this little bit by his legs here. But I'm going to leave that for now because what will happen is the bottom of this will get mangled. So we'll save that little bit. And this is all fussy cut stuff to do. Watches and weird things and hands and people. What's that? All that stuff. Okay, let me pull up that. So I have one of these. And it was chock full when we started. But look. But wait, there's more. We could do this for days and days and days, and you guys would hate me to death. That's the bottom. So there's a lot in there. But it was full when we started, so. We did throw out a few things. We got a couple of things in there. We're like, oh, we don't even know why that's there. Like, I'm going to fussy cut this out. It's just texture on a wall, but I thought it might be fun to use. A man with a hat, a pair of shoes. I'm fussy cutting out this chicken with his legs crossed. We're going to probably put a head on that. A big, giant, weird silver rocket. And some jogging legs. So... Oh, well, I guess that's what I get for not coming to your live and being asleep. All right. So that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for coming and leaving me some thumbs up or thumbs down or whatever you did, however you felt about it. Tomorrow is Thursday. What are we doing tomorrow? I'm trying not to get into anything too involved, but I don't want to do this twice in a row because I think you guys might murder me. Let's do a collage tomorrow. Let's do an M&M tomorrow. You'll act like you don't know. If I don't talk about it for a while, I could actually forget. You love some good vivisection. So maybe we'll do this once a week for a little while. Cull through the stash. This wasn't a bad idea, even though I had some bad thoughts about elves, and I was like, thanks for like raining on my parade. I'm finally getting a good place where I'm doing things and I'm going live, and you're like, well, now go through the shit you already got. Yes, thumbs me down. Do it. Do it. It's all interaction according to YouTube's algorithms. The only purpose it serves is if you genuinely hated the content, it was a message that, of hate speech or something, or you want to upset the person, and the person has to be upsettable. So I don't worry about that. See you in the replay. We're leaving, Tina. I'm sorry. I'm doing my outro right now. I will see you guys tomorrow for an M&M's collage. Tomorrow is my afternoon day. So between 1 and 3, sometime in that block, I would love to nail down a specific time for you guys. But I have to be flexible because sometimes we go someplace and sometimes we don't. So the earlier I'm on, the more we didn't go somewhere. And the later I'm on, the more we did. So there's always a possibility on a Wednesday or Thursday. Well, Wednesday, not so much because that's my late day. But like on a Thursday, it could always be pushed to the same time as the Wednesday if there's a lot of errands that need to be ran. But outside of that, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon for an M&M collage. Oh, and you're off work tomorrow. Woohoo! Yay, Janice. So let's M&M together. We'll make a creepy M&M collage. So however you guys are spending your days and nights, I hope it brings you great joy and happiness. Each and every one of you absolutely deserves it. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and I thank you for the joy you bring into my life. Until I see you in one of my lives or in a box somewhere, Bye, Christine. I wish you the happiest of crafting. Bright blessings and hugs and hisses for anybody who wants them. Bye, 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 bye. The end. Oh, where's the thing? I lost the thing. Okay, now it's the end. The end.